Hello guys, I hope you are in good health and safe during this pandemic. Though there are a lot of disturbing reports coming around the world, we should not stop our learning. With that in mind, I present you here basic simulation of PN junction solar cell in Ni multisim. You might be aware of the word solar cell. It is a device which converts light energy into electrical energy. In this tutorial video, I will discuss with you the technique which you can use to simulate a solar cell in Ni multisim. Before beginning the topic for the day, I would ask you to look for my another video where I have discussed PN junction diode and its simulation in Ni multisim. If you have already watched that, then you may proceed further, and if you have not watched, then please go through that. It will give you basic idea of the device physics of a PN junction diode and how can we simulate it in Ni multisim. Okay, so now I assume that you know about PN junction diode and its simulation in Ni multisim and also its equivalent circuit. Then, in most of the cases, a solar cell is nothing but a PN junction diode. And here I am going to consider a similar structure, like I have a PN junction diode which is acting as a solar cell, and in that case PN junction diode is illuminated by solar radiation. As soon as solar radiation incident on a PN junction diode or any other semiconductor, then it generates electron hole pairs depending on the band gap of the semiconductor. Here you will notice that the concentration or the density of the charge carrier is more near the face where the light is shining than the rear face. Now assume that you have a simple semiconductor and you are having charge density or the photo generated charge carrier density to be precise, and they are having some concentration gradient. Then it is obvious that the charge carrier would start diffusing, and due to diffusion both electrons and holes will move in the same direction. However, in a PN junction diode, if you remember from our earlier video, that it creates an electric field near the junction because it is depleted of the charge carriers and they are fixed charges which results in electric field. Now in a semiconductor where the charge carriers were diffusing away, if we have electric field, they will start drifting, and due to that drift, electrons and holes will move in different directions, and accordingly we will have net current in the device. Same thing happens in the PN junction diode. Due to electric field at the junction, the electron hole pairs generated by the light which was incident on the device were drifted towards the metal contacts or towards the electrodes. Now if this device is connected with a load, then due to that drift, electrons would start flowing through load to recombine with the holes which are available at the other contact. And hence we get net current in the load. And that is what solar cell is, or that is how a solar cell operates. And you can say it is effectively a current source. So solar cell is a current source. More the light you will incident, more current you will get. Now, to model it in Ni multisim, we need to know what is the equivalent circuit of this solar cell. For equivalent circuit, we know one thing, that solar cell is a current source that we need to put there. Second thing we know, it is a PN junction diode, that also we need to put there. And we also have a load resistance that should also be there. And once we connect all these three components, our basic equivalent circuit for this PN junction solar cell is complete. However, there is a problem. That PN junction diode has parasitic resistances that we discussed in our earlier video. If you have a parasitic resistance in a PN junction, say series resistance, then it should be there in your equivalent circuit. In addition to that, we also know PN junction diode may have shunt resistance. So, in equivalent circuit, that also should be there. This is a complete, or I would say, first order equivalent circuit for a PN junction solar cell. If you want to simulate it in Ni multisim, or say if you want to actively measure current voltage characteristics of a PN junction solar cell, then you need to replace your load resistance with active voltage source. And in that case, your equivalent circuit will look something like this. You will be having a current source, you are having a PN junction diode, which is an ideal PN junction diode. In parallel to that, you will be having shunt resistance. In series to that circuit, you will be having a series resistance that is actually offered by the series resistance of PN junction diode. And you will also have a voltage supply, active voltage supply. And this circuit you model in Ni multisim. So here if you will see in this figure, we have a circuit which has been designed in Ni multisim. Here we have a current source, we have a diode, we have a resistance parallel to diode, and we have a series resistance. We also have a voltage source. Typical parameters for a silicon solar cell which is having cross section area of 1 centimeter square, say, are like this. The saturation current of the diode. What is the saturation current? That I have discussed in earlier video. You can check that. The saturation current is approximately 0.1 picoampere. The ideality factor, or sometime in Ni multisim it is called as emission coefficient, is say 1. Series resistance 1 milliohm. Shunt resistance, also called as parallel resistance, is say 1 mega ohm. And short circuit current, or the current from the source, is say 40 milliampere. With those parameters, we go to multisim, design our circuit, and this is how our circuit would look like. From there, we can, after designing, go to simulate, analysis, and there we have DC sweep. You go to DC sweep, choose source in analysis parameter, choose source V1, start value. You may go with some negative voltage, stop value. You choose something usually beyond 0.7 volt. The step size for your voltage sweep, you can take 0.01. Then you need to set output parameters. I will take current from the voltage source 1. So this is our load. So what is the current going in this load that I have to measure? And this load is actually my voltage supply in this circuit. Therefore, I will measure current going through this voltage supply, and that's what I am measuring in my output. Once that is set, I click on simulate, and here I have the current voltage characteristics. You can change these titles, current, voltage, all these things you can change. I would like to show one thing that if you zoom it vertically, so we select zoom tool here and just zoom it. You will observe that we are having some current in the positive value until somewhere here, as you see, it is around 0.6 volt or something, 0.7 volt around. So until here we have some positive current, and after that the current direction is switching. That's it. You have simulated current voltage characteristics. You can change your graph view, you can set all the things, title and the current, applied bias, all these things you can set. So that's it for the day. I hope you have got an idea how to simulate a solar cell in an iMultiSim by modeling its equivalent circuit. So you have any solar cell, you should explore what could be its possible equivalent circuit. Once you have your equivalent circuit, then you can simulate it in NI-Multisim or using SPICE or any kind of circuit modeling tool. So that's it, the steps you need for simulation of a solar cell. You need to have basic device physics idea of the device, what is the equivalent circuit for your device. Then from that, you need to understand what will be the equivalent circuit for your corresponding solar cell, means where the current source will be placed in your equivalent circuit. After that, you need to replace your load resistance with the active load, and then you need to identify value for individual components in your equivalent circuit. Once you have all those things, you can design your equivalent circuit in any circuit modeling tool. That can be an iMultiSim, that can be ngSpice or pSpice. And you run the simulation, you will have all the results. I hope you have learned something in this video tutorial. If you have any query, any comments, you can let us know through the comment section below. Wish you sound health and wish you happy learning. Thank you guys.